Do you know what's more dangerous than failure? Believing that you were never capable in the first place. That quiet thought, I'm just not that smart. I'm not talented. This is not for people like me. That thought doesn't just stop you once, it slowly builds a cage around your entire life. Today, I want to tell you a story. Not about success, but about how people decide whether they will ever succeed. This idea comes from the work of Mindset and Carol S. Dweck. But what you're about to hear isn't a summary. It's a reality you've probably already lived, without realizing it. Imagine two students sitting in the same classroom. Both are given a difficult math problem. The first student looks at it and thinks, "This is hard, I might fail." The second student looks at the same problem and thinks, "This is hard, which means I'm about to learn something." Same problem, same situation, completely different future. Because what separates them isn't intelligence, it's belief. Let me ask you something. Honestly, when things get difficult in your life, do you feel challenged or do you feel exposed? Do you think, I'll figure this out? Or do you quietly panic, what if I can't? That tiny difference, that invisible reaction, that's where your entire life direction begins. There are people who treat life like a test, and there are people who treat life like training. The first group wants to prove they're already good enough. The second group is willing to become better. And here's the twist. The ones trying to prove themselves often stay stuck. The ones trying to improve themselves keep growing. Think about your childhood. Maybe someone once told you, "You're so smart." Sounds like a compliment, right? But what if I told you that one sentence might have secretly made you afraid of failure? Because now every time you struggle, it doesn't feel like learning. It feels like losing your identity. You're not just solving a problem anymore, you're protecting your label. And suddenly you start avoiding things that challenge you. You choose easy paths, safe goals, comfort zones, not because you're weak, but because you're trying to protect the image of being smart. Now imagine a different kind of praise. You worked really hard on this. I can see your effort. You improved. This kind of feedback does something powerful. It tells you you're not fixed. You're not limited. You're in progress. And when you believe that, failure stops feeling like a threat. It starts feeling like feedback. Let's step into real life for a moment. You try something new. Maybe it's starting a YouTube channel, learning a skill, preparing for an exam. At first you're excited. Then reality hits. Views are low, results are slow, mistakes are constant. And this is the moment where most people quit. Not because they can't do it, but because they interpret struggle as a sign of inability. They think, if I were really good, this would be easy. But that's the biggest illusion. Everything meaningful is difficult in the beginning. Not because you're not capable, and yes, but because you're not trained yet. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The moment you say, "I'm just not good at this," you've closed the door. Not because it's true, but because you've decided it's permanent. And once something feels permanent, why even try? But what if you replace that sentence with, "I'm not good at this yet"? That one word, yet. It changes everything. It turns a dead end into a path. It turns judgment into possibility. It turns identity into growth. Think of your brain like a muscle. When you struggle, when you fail, when you push beyond comfort, you're not breaking yourself. You're building yourself. But here's the catch. Growth doesn't feel like growth. It feels like confusion, frustration, slow progress. That's why most people never stay long enough to see results. They mistake the process for failure. Have you ever noticed how some people love challenges? They don't run away from difficulty, they chase it. Because to them, difficulty means expansion. Every mistake is data. Every failure is a lesson. Every obstacle is training, and over time, they become unstoppable. Not because they started better, but because they stayed longer. Now let's talk about something deeper. Ego. Your ego wants to look good. It wants to be right, to be admired, to be seen as talented. But growth requires something different. It requires you to look bad, to be wrong, to be a beginner. And most people can't handle that. So they choose comfort over progress. They protect their ego and slowly destroy their potential. Here's a truth most people won't tell you. You can either be impressive or you can be improving. Rarely both at the same time. Because improvement is messy, it's full of mistakes, embarrassment, trial and error, but that's the price of becoming someone new. Let me ask you again. What do you do when you fail? Do you hide it, avoid it, blame something else? Or do you sit with it, study it, learn from it? Because failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. There's another trap people fall into. Comparing themselves to others. You see someone ahead of you, more successful, more skilled. And instead of feeling inspired, you feel threatened. Why? Because if you believe abilities are fixed, then someone else's success feels like your limitation. But if you believe abilities can grow, then someone else's success becomes proof of possibility. The difference is everything. One mindset says, they're better than me. The other says, they started before me. Now imagine your life 5 years from today. Not based on talent, not based on luck, but based on one thing: how you respond to difficulty. If every time life gets hard, you step back, avoid, quit, doubt yourself, then nothing changes. But if every time life gets hard, you lean in, learn, adjust, keep going, then growth becomes inevitable. Here's something powerful to understand. People who succeed are not fearless. They feel doubt, they feel pressure, they feel failure. The difference is, they don't let those feelings define them. They see emotions as temporary, but effort as permanent. Let's bring this into your daily life. When you wake up, when you feel lazy, unmotivated, that's not a sign you can't succeed. That's just a moment. What matters is what you do next. Do you give in or do you act anyway? Because discipline is not about feeling ready. It's about acting despite not feeling ready. And over time, your identity shifts from someone who avoids struggle to someone who embraces it, from someone who fears failure to someone who uses it, from someone who stays stuck to someone who evolves. Let me tell you the biggest lie people believe. Some people are just naturally successful. No, some people are just more willing to grow. They don't see themselves as finished. They see themselves as evolving. You are not your current ability. You are your current effort. You are your current habits. You are your current mindset. And all of these can change. So the next time you fail, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Ask, what can this teach me? The next time something feels hard, don't think, I can't do this. Think, I'm in the process of learning this. And the next time you doubt yourself, remember, you're not stuck. You're just untrained. Because your life isn't decided by what you are today. It's decided by what you're willing to become. And here's the final truth I want to leave you with. The most dangerous mindset is not thinking you're bad. It's thinking you can't get better, because once you believe that, you stop trying. And when you stop trying, that's the only real failure. So don't aim to prove yourself. Aim to improve yourself. Don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Don't fear failure. Use it. Because the moment you understand this, the moment you truly believe you can grow, that's the moment your life begins to change. Quietly, slowly, but permanently.